Okay, what's up guys? I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the Seasonic X750 watt power supply. The reason I got this, well, truthfully, there wasn't much of a reason. More or less that it was a really good deal, and I kind of wanted a backup power supply for my computer, and I eventually will end up needing a power supply about this wattage, which should be able to handle about two 770s, or what I'm looking at, about that right there, and this should be able to handle that power plus my new processor and everything. Plus it's more efficient because it's 80 plus gold certified and everything else. Price, I got it off Newegg. It'll be $90 after I think a $15 rebate. So I need to get that rebate in after I check to make sure everything works, which I'm sure it does, based off it has a 7-year warranty, so I'm sure it has to work. Normally I think this is like $140, so $90 is a pretty darn good deal for this. It's like it says 7-year warranty, gold certified. Gets a user manual, tell you some things about the power and all the plugs and everything. One thing I like, because I have an acrylic computer, I'll just show you that real quick. That up there, you can see all the wires in it. So having a modular power supply is very, very useful. One, makes it easier to wire, and two, it helps cut down on wire clutter, and so it looks better inside your case since the case is see-through. And so that helps in this one. The one I have in there currently is a modular, and this one's actually a full modular, which means everything can be taken off, even your 24 pin power for your motherboard. The one up there, it cannot, and a couple other cables are directly connected to the power supply. So that makes it easier to reroute cables and everything else. Some foam to protect it on there. I like that. Like when you're buying high quality stuff, it's always nice. I wish, you could save a few dollars, but I mean, usually people that are buying the high end stuff don't really care. But it comes in a velvet case. That's and that, depending if you like it or not, that very electronic smell has some glue fibers, it looks like, on the velvet. But I've never seen a power supply or any electronic, minus that sound card. My sound card unboxing, the Z series, have velvet inside, and this is actually wrapped in a velvet bag, so that's pretty awesome. And I'll actually just unhook this real quick and show you the power supply and set that off to the side. It's actually pretty small for 750 watt. I think that's small, maybe a tiniest bit bigger than my current 550 watt power supply by dang it, it's the Fatality. Oh yeah, it's OCZ power supply, and it's been working good for over 3 years now. And I just wanted, so eventually gonna need a bigger power supply, like I said. So the 550 watt I have now is gonna be a backup for this computer. So if anything were to happen, I'll instantly just be able to switch them out real quick, and my computer will be working again. Okay, so before I set it down, you can see all the ports right here. Some motherboard connector and peripheral, 4 slots to get SATA cables. I think there might be 2. We'll see later in the bag over here. All the cables. You have I think this is motherboard as well, these 2. And then you have CPU 8 pin, and then PCI Express 6 plus 8 pins. You can have I think it has 4 8-pin powers for your graphics cards. So that means you can power 2 high-end graphics cards with this. And it has your normal and hybrid fans. This hybrid can actually make the fan turn off, and when it's using like 50 watts of power or something like that. And once you start using a lot more power, then it will turn the fan on. I'll just keep it on normal so the fan's on all the time, because I use the fan on the power supply, since my power supply is on the top of the case. It actually can suck out some heat from the case. So that's not exactly good for the power supply, but it's good for the CPU and the rest of the other components, so they don't get as hot. And I don't see the power supply really I won't even use near 750 watts currently, so there's no issue with that. So that's it. You have a power switch on the back and your plug, and that's that right there. Okay, to get over here, I'm actually gonna show this little piece first, and then move it over. A sticker. That's always nice for people like to show what's in their case on the outside of it. For my case, you can actually see it from the outside. This looks like a band. These are 3 bands that looks like you can wrap up cables with, I guess, afterwards, and it comes with some zip ties for wire management inside your case, plus screws to connect it to inside your case. But mine, yeah, it does come, and it comes with special screws for my case, so I won't be needing those. But get the box out of the way. Open up this bag. Comes with a heavy-duty cable. I actually bought one recently from Honor Price. I think it's actually the same size. This is a doesn't say the gauge, unless I just haven't found it. I think it was like a 14 gauge, the one I bought. No, it's 16. This is 16 gauge cord, if that matters to you. It's pretty thick and beefy. So if you're actually using the full 750 watts of power, you're gonna want a cable this thick, for safety reasons and everything like that. I'm guessing this is a 6-foot cable, just by looking at it. But I bought like I think it's like a 10-foot with an angle adapter, so I can reach wherever, and it's like a super thick cable. Anyways, kneel down right here. Cables. Let's open this real quick. One thing I like looking at the pictures of Newegg, which is another thing, the cables are very neat, all black, versus the ones I have now have colors in them. I mean, it makes it harder if you had to rewire it, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But the individual wires are nice, so it makes it look nicer overall. I've said nice a lot, but yeah. And the main motherboard power is actually a braided cable, which is good as well. Has a heat shrink tubing on it and everything. And like I said, everything's full modular, so you can pick and choose what you want. These are PCI Express cables, and this is a CPU cable. It has a split between the 4-pin in case you don't need an actual 8-pin power for your motherboard, which I'm not sure why you're buying this power supply if you don't need 8-pin power for your CPU. And I guess for a graphics card, you might have a crappy CPU and a really good graphics card. And they use thick plastic for the main stuff, and then they use cheap, thin plastic for the other cables. Not that that really matters. They should just use the cheap stuff for both of them. But anyways, yeah, stuff like this, floppy power, that can be used not just for floppy drives, but I think some sound cards have it for extra power, and some other devices use this floppy power connector. And then the SATA power comes with actually 2 SATA power ports. I'll have to figure out how to use these correctly, because length matters a lot in my case, so I don't know how well I'll untangle one of these and show length and kind of estimate it for you. Because it looks a lot longer when it's actually unraveled, but I'll plug in at the top of the case, and that's about 2 feet, and it stays solid 2 feet long. And this one comes with 4, so you could possibly plug in 1 and power 4 hard drives with this. And I actually have 4 hard drives, so this hopefully can power all my hard drives. And then I have 1 Blu-ray drive, which is actually has to be powered with a 4-pin Molex anyway, so unless this changes around. But I'll be messing around with that tonight. It's nice that they come with this nice bag, I guess, if you want to store your cables in a nice, neat place. But yeah, that is pretty much everything. If you have any questions about this power supply, about me installing it in my computer, about what it can handle, I should be able to help you in that respect. And if any advanced questions about power phase and all this stuff. I really don't know. There are actually really good reviews if you just search this power supply online, like, about this. So yeah, if you have any questions, please ask below and I'll try to answer them. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.